And so once a leaked sex tape comes into the mix, things are going to escalate. And they did. All right, Jesse on Fire back again. So it's been almost a week since I've talked about this topic. Logan Paul, Dillon Danis, now Jake Paul, Mike Malchik is in the mix. Dillon Danis showed the picture to another person in a very questionable, kind of bizarre exchange that I'm going to show you guys. And ultimately, there is one question that has come out of this that is very important for me to pose in this video. And also, I want to comment on exactly what Jake Paul said in his video, because Jake Paul made an incredible point. I like this guy. I'm just going to put that out there just straight up, dude. I have no shame about this. I never have ever said I didn't like Jake. I've always said that I respected him. But now, when I watch him speak on camera, I'm like, I align with this kid, dude. Like, I think he's smart. I think he makes good points. He comes off confident. I like him, dude. I like him, straight up. So, you got a problem with that? Put it in the comments. Tell me about it. Tell me why I should not respect Jake Paul, especially after this take where he's defending his brother and he explains why he hadn't defended his brother previously. It's a great take. He makes great points. I'm going to comment on that. And then also, I'm going to ask the most important question to this of this entire thing. Like, it's a really important question. And it also leads into a much larger concept going into this fight that I don't hear anyone talking about. And it's like, hey guys, we are, there's a huge distraction over here that is very entertaining, but this is the thing that really matters. And we're going to talk about that. Now, before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. If you're new to this channel, here's the deal. You can watch all of my content for free. All of it. All I ask. I do this, this is like my full-time job now. All I ask is that you click subscribe. That's it. You never have to think about it ever again. You just click subscribe, and then you can have access to all of my content for free, except for members only, but that's extra, and that is that's beyond what I do for everybody else, and I post every single day in my regular stuff. Members only is a whole other thing. If you want to check that out, feel free. Links in the description. Now, let's also talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Yo Kratom. Jesse, how are you so happy all the time? Because I only pay $60 for the kilograms of kratom that I get from Yo Kratom. It's the bomb. It's easy to use. It's easy to get. It gets here in 2 days. Yo Kratom. Check them out. Cheapest, best quality. You'll love it. All right. So let's rock and roll. I want to start with the Jake Paul video. So we're going to start with the Jake Paul video, and that is going to lead us into a very important question, which is going to be partially the basis for a lot of stuff we're going to talk about later. Let's watch. Boom.
People are saying, Jake, you haven't come to your brother's defense. You're not help defending him. Like, defense of what? Like, Logan's going to knock the fucking shit out of this kid. That's all that matters. The rest is just sales for the fight and making the fight bigger.
Okay, so in the case of Jake Paul's involvement in this, that is 100% correct, right? Okay, like if you have a sibling, okay, if you have a brother, right, you are heavily involved in their life. And there are a lot of things you would say to your brother that you might not say to very good friends. Your best friend, like closest guy friends, pretty much you have the exact same communication as you and your brother. At least for me, I'm really close with my brother. But my brother and I are very different in a lot of ways. But nonetheless, like there are things that I would say to my brother that I would not say to other people. One of the things I would not get involved in with my brother is if he's in love with a girl, there is nothing there's no scenario where I would try to step in and tell him, don't be with that girl. That's not something people do, right? And also, that's also his deal though, right? That's completely his deal. If he's together with some girl who, for all intents and purposes, looks like a bad girl on the outside, like, it's not my job to go defend her. It's like, I'm not going to bother you about that. I'm also not getting involved, dude. That's your thing. You think about like, your sibling gets married and his wife is terrible, right? And this is definitely not my family. My brother's wife is a complete and total badass. But like, do you know what I mean? It's like, this is not my business. So he's right. There is nothing to defend. And the better part of this that he talked about is that Logan is going to knock out Dillon. That's what he said. And that is going to be the main basis of the question I'm going to ask. But this is only a minute longer, so we're going to come back to that.
And making my brother more money. Defense of some little itty witty tweets. Like, bro, we're grown men here. We've seen so much worse than this. So Logan doesn't need my help defending anything. And people are mad because I promoted better picks using the beef. Yeah, get over it. It's marketing 101.
Exactly. Hang on. People are mad about that because Jake posted this thing that was like, if you want to know my feeling on the Logan and Dillon Danis, you need to download Better Picks. Okay, this weekend is NFL opening weekend. Jake is part of a sports betting app. And this is the most highly trending topic in the world. And it's his brother. Who would not do that? Okay, honestly, anyone who had a problem with that, I can tell you right now, you are never going to see success in business ever. If you really had a problem with that, if you were like, oh my God, listen, this is serious, Jake. People really want to know your take on this Nina Agdal thing, and you used it for betting, to promote a betting app? Disgusting. It's like, hey, let me see in your bank account. What? Let me see your bank account. Why? Because you're broke. Okay, I can absolutely guarantee that. This is common sense, dude. Of course he's going to use it. That is how you use trending topics, especially if you are connected to them. Let's continue.
And Logan would be...
By the way, I want on the better team. I want on, dude. Who's a better brand fit for better? I am the number one free agent in the combat sports YouTube game. I want in, dude. I've said nothing but positive things about Jake Paul my entire career, and that continues. But I actually genuinely mean what I'm saying here because, like I said, I align with what he's saying and, what he's doing.
Happy for people to go download Better, which you guys should do. Better Picks is live NFL Week 1. And you can call me a bad brother, but I identify as a sister. So, checkmate, motherfuckers.
Yep. See, and if you were wondering, you're all, gosh, it's like, he seems really passionate about his, his support of Jake. I was like, well, there you go, dude. I identify as a sister also, so there's that. Anybody who wants to make fun of trans ideology, I'm on board with them. Anyway, so there's that. Now, here is the part that I was alluding to that is the most important, okay? So, hang on. Let me find this because Mike Malchek is the one who asked it right here. Boom. This. Okay? Bro, how can you be training if you're tweeting all day? I know you're going to use all this X revenue for that pullout clause payment. Okay. So, I do not think there is any chance that Dillon is going to pull out. No. But, I am going to say this. When I saw the video, which I'll show you shortly, of Dillon Danis with Aiden Ross, right? They're at like a gym. They're all training. They did something there. Aiden Ross hung out with Dillon. And then I believe, actually, man, I wonder if Jake was there, dude, because I saw Jake at that same place with Sneeko in a video today. I don't know. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. But so I watched Dillon at this thing, and it's like, does anyone not understand that Logan and Jake train with really legit boxing teams? Like they have the best coaching. That is how they've gotten so good so fast. Bottom line, they are in camp right now, or Logan's in camp right now. 100%. He is training for this fight like he would be training for any other fight. Who is training Dillon? That's my question. Like, who's training Dillon? And I'm not saying this is a shot to Dillon because here's the deal, dude. If Dillon wins this fight by knockout, okay? If Dillon wins this fight by knockout, he will become the biggest star in combat sports overnight. Oh, that second, if he knocks out Logan Paul, he will become the biggest star in combat sports. And if Logan knocks Dillon out, okay? And I'm talking in both of these cases, I'm talking like flat back, stretched out, starched, knockouts. If Logan comes out and knocks out Dillon Danis in the first round, you understand that all of this, that everybody thinks is this huge, like, oh, we're tap dancing on Logan Paul's head. We're just ruining him. He's dead in the water. The way that appears now will be completely reversed instantly. 1 second, that second, if Logan knocks out Dillon, okay? The fight hype thing is a very simple animal to understand, okay? The more hype there is behind a fight, the more dramatic the outcome is and how it's going to reflect on the people. Like, no matter what happens, no matter what has happened here, if Logan comes out and he clips Dillon and Dillon is unconscious, Logan can literally get on the microphone and he could get married to Nina Agdal in the ring and no one will say anything about it ever again. Bottom line, The fight is the defining thing. It's the only thing that matters. That's what I was talking about when Jake was like, dude, who cares? He's going to knock the shit out of this kid, and that's all that matters. And it's true. That is true. They're going to fight, dude. Like, these guys are going to fight. This is not like some regular back and forth on Twitter. They're going to fight. Everyone knows this. And so in the event that Logan starches Dillon, all of this is for nothing. As a matter of fact, not only is it for, it's not for just for nothing. It is all the energy that was going against Dillon or Logan becomes advantageous to Logan in how impactful the knockout was. That's how this works. And so, who's training Dillon? Because Dillon said he didn't have a team for the KSI fight. That's why he pulled out. Okay, so I'm not saying that because he's tweeting, he can't be training. Listen, I know exactly how much effort it takes to post things on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, the idea that what he's doing on Twitter is going to keep him from training is ridiculous. That's not true. But who is he training with? You know what I mean? Like, is he in a legit camp? Because if he's not, Logan is going to beat his fucking ass. You know what I mean? It's really important to know that. Now, let's go over to this video now. Actually, you know what? I wanted to show you this interaction also. So, check this out. So, this was Dillon's response to Mike Malchik, right? So, this is what I was talking about in terms of like elite black belt Twitter skills. Like, elite black belt Twitter skills from Danis. Malchik also excellent because he goes like this. Look, so Malchik says, bro, how can you be training if you're tweeting all day? I know you're going to use this X revenue for that pullout clause payment. Dillon says, you're literally Logan Paul's comrade. Shut your mouth before I bully you so bad you start taking heroin again. Okay, so apparently Malchik really did have an opioid addiction. Okay, now I've been very open with the fact that I also had an opioid addiction, and that led to me dating one of the biggest whores on the face of the earth. The reason I love talking about this stuff is because it gives me an excuse to talk about these like hilarious. I find this stuff funny, dude. You know, like me personally, it's like, so you ever have an opioid addiction? It's like, yeah, I did, dude. You want to hear some of the fucking insane shit that I did when I was spracked out on? Because it's like I was a different person. I was literally a different person. You want to hear some of the insane shit that it made me do? And I'll tell you exactly why. Like, I can put it in context where people who have struggled with the same thing can laugh at themselves also. It's like, I know if you're in the middle of it, it's the worst thing ever, but you can get it. You can get it through it. You can be not addicted to opioids. It sucks getting through it, but you'll get through it. And let me show you, you can even make fun of yourself in hindsight. So let me show you what this was, and then I'll tell you the most ridiculous thing that I did while addicted to opioids, because it is related to this story, because I lived with the biggest whore on planet Earth. I knew she was that big of a whore too. That's what opioids do to your brain. Anyway, all right, so let's run through this. So Malchik's response to this, okay? Yes, Dillon, I did have an opiate problem 13 years ago, like many Americans sadly do. It's an ever-growing issue that doesn't get enough attention. I'm proud of myself for overcoming it and acting as an inspiration to the millions who still suffer. Now, the reason this is elite status Twitter game is because it puts Dillon in a position where he can, if he talks shit back to this, he's minimizing the opioid crisis. Millions of people have died tragically as a result of this horrendous thing that took over the country due to the Sacklers and pharmaceutical companies who were training doctors to teach them that treating pain was like treating any other, basically looked like exactly the playbook that they did when they wanted to, get everybody to do that. I'm just saying, very similar playbook. But so if you talk shit back to this, it like minimizes a thing that you'd be the biggest prick on earth for minimizing, right? So if you have elite black belt Twitter skills, how do you respond back to that? I ain't reading all that. Good for you though, or sorry that happened. That is so good. Like, that's brilliant. I ain't reading all that, dude, but good for you, or sorry that happened, depending on what you've written. That is so smart and so awesome. That's a brilliant response. Hilarious. Now, on the topic of being addicted to opioids and the negative effects it'll have on your life. So I lived with a girl in San Diego this was like a year. I'd been out of college for about a year, right? And I was spracked out on Norcos, taking a ton of them every single day. I had a ready source on the internet. I could get as many as I wanted. So this is a girl who I had, I'd been banging in college, like off and on for years, while she had boyfriends. Like she always had a boyfriend, and I was like a sneak in the back. Like basically anytime that I was coming up dry, and I would hit her up and I'd be like, dude, let's hang out. She would lie to her boyfriend. I would sneak into her house. I would bang her, whatever. Like, so I was like a backdoor guy. I wasn't like, she was not my girl, right? I was backdooring her, okay? In more ways than one. So bottom line, that was the nature of my relationship with her in college, okay? So once I got spracked out on the pills, okay, what they did for me, what opioids did for me is they made me feel like utter bliss all the time. And if I was in the presence of a girl, I would just be like, oh my God, can I play with your hair? Let me give you a massage. Let's watch a movie. This is the best thing ever. Oh, I'm so happy when I'm with you. Boo, boo, boo. It would have made no difference who the girl was, okay? I was going to feel exactly the same. That is the trap of opioids. If anybody is not understanding why people get hooked on them, it's like this, dude. A person who is a homeless guy, who is living in a dumpster, feels just as good as an opioid addict that has $25 million in the bank sitting in their mansion. They don't feel different, okay? It completely detaches how you feel from your life, okay? Like that's the reality of what it really does. No matter what you have going on in your life, no matter what pain you have going on, no matter what stress you have going on, it just nullifies it and it puts you at 20 out of 20 happiness and comfort. You're just so comfortable. There's nothing you'd rather be doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be laying in a dumpster reading the back of a box that someone threw away, and you will feel exactly the same as someone who is in a mansion in a hot tub with 5 girls rubbing their feet, dick, and back. You know what I mean? Like you will feel that will not feel better than this. You'll feel just as good in either scenario. It's a seductive bitch, man. I completely understand, obviously. So the way that manifested for me was I ended up together with this girl. And here's the hilarious part. So if you're like, if you need context for how big of a whore this girl was. So when she was a freshman in college, she went on a spring break trip with my then girlfriend, Bree. I've talked about her a bunch. So they went on a trip together to Mazatlan, okay? There was one of those spring break, competitions that they do, like they do like wet t-shirt contests. They'll have like hard body contests for guys, whatever. This one was a bull riding contest, and it was a couples one. So a girl and a guy would couple up, and then they would ride the bull together, right? And so these things, as they do, would just escalate. Like they escalate. The first one, it's like the girl's like, oh my God, look at how I fucking ride the bull. And everyone's all, woo. Next girl does that, takes her top off. Next girl does that, escalate, right? Until, they're riding it naked together. This girl won because the dude penetrated her naked with a glow stick in front of 1,000 people, okay? She won the competition because she got pounded with a glow stick. She was only 18 years old. What kind of person does that? An absolute sheer prostitute. And I moved in with that girl while I was spracked out on opioids. Okay? That's how fucked up I was on pills. Like, relatively logical human being would be like, yeah, like she's fun to hang out with. She's really funny. We laugh a lot. We kind of have a shared lack of morals where I kind of think it's funny to sneak behind her boyfriend's back and bang her out at her house. But like, when it comes to like getting into a committed relationship, I don't think that's a good idea necessarily. But no, just bypassed all of that. And as people who know my channel very well know, the end of that, the last time that I saw her was after we broke up. I went to her house. She lived on the second story of the Creekside Apartments in San Diego. I go to her house at actually I probably went there at 1:45, 2 in the morning, pounded it for about an hour. And then at 3 a.m., her new boyfriend that I did not know exist came and kicked the fucking door in. And I had to dive into her closet completely stark naked with my heart beating out of my chest. I still to this day I've never had my heart beat like that ever. Like beating out of my chest. Stark naked anyway, it's a whole other story. I'll tell it again on my members only. But yeah, so that's the last time I saw her in person. Anyway, so bad girls, dude. Bad girl. Not wife material. She ended up getting married and divorced. You know, she's got a kid, but husband not. Well, unless she got remarried. I don't know. I haven't been keeping tabs. So, yeah, you know, bad girls. Bad girl. She's a bad girl. Bad girl. Anyway, so now let's go over to this thing. There was something else I wanted to show you guys on this. Maybe it's not here. Okay, so let's watch the Aiden thing. And I will tell you exactly what I mean when I said I think Dillon might have slipped up. Ready? Watch. Okay, so he's about to show. Sorry, let me preface this. He's about to show this for the first time to Aiden. Now watch Aiden's response. Also, Dillon scrolled on his phone for literally like 1 minute and 44 seconds. This whole time he's scrolling. And I'm like, he doesn't have these pictures like in a folder that's easy to access. You know what I mean? All right, watch.
Bro! Can I ask you a question? Like,
No.
no.
I know.
Like, can I say that?
And like that, like, so Aiden, he goes, hey, can I say that? And he's like, he already has something like typed out in response to what Dillon showed. I found that a little bit weird.
Like, who?
I don't know. I see. Is that even worse?
But in fairness, Dillon responded to it. He said, I don't know. So I think what he was saying is, who is that? Like, who's she with or whatever.
Alright.
Yeah.
Bro, what the?
But dude, Dillon's face right there, I believe, you know, like that looks real.
Bro, so you know I'm not lying?
Bro, what the fuck, bro?
I told you I was lying. Now you get a vouch for me.
Nah, that is wild, bro. I actually feel really bad.
Tell me if they were cool to fight if I posted it.
Yeah, like that's too far.
Think so?
Bro, come on, bro.
But should I save him from this girl?
Okay, so watch. Here is like in a second, he's gonna say, should I save him from this marriage? This is where it's really bizarre. And I'm like, this doesn't add up.
God, dude, what? How do you even have that?
Have more. Is it not?
Bro, my heart hurts. Oh God.
For him or her?
Like in general, bro.
So should I be like a human and save him from this marriage? Or maybe you don't know. Maybe it's a picture of him with a guy.
See, right there. He goes, should I be a man and should I save him from this marriage? Oh, well, you don't know. Maybe it's a picture of him with a guy. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? You just showed what it was. You just showed him what it was. How would he not know? You know what I mean? Don't add up, man. Shit don't add up, man. Shit don't add up. That doesn't make any sense to me. I watched that and I was like, wait, what? So, yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it, dude. That's probably enough. I'm going to cut this off. We're at 23 minutes. That's enough. Bye.